Hello everyone. In today's video, we will talk about future trading and how to create your own signals, such as the ones you see on Discord and Telegram channels. In this video, we will go step by step until we reach the first signal, and we will start by finding the areas of support and resistance in a way that you have not seen before, and in the next few days, we will try to prepare an integrated series that consisting of the second and third videos, and we may reach up to 4 videos. But before we start, do not forget to register to the Bybit platform with the partnership link below the video in order to facilitate a lot of things that we will talk about later. In this series, we will start using only 2 indicators. The first indicator will be the whole moving average indicator, and we will use it to find the direction of the signals, are they short or long. As for the second indicator, it will be the retracement bar indicator, which is the gradual white line that you see here, and we will use it to determine the entry points. To understand more and to make the explanation more easy and clear, let's start step by closing the indicators and starting from scratch. Now that we're ready, let's pick the time frame from here. First, we will choose the 1 week frame, which is the most important point, and then, we will choose the frames in sequence, 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, until we reach 5 minute and 1 minute frame. Well, let's start by choosing the 1 week frame. Now we go to the indicators library and search for the whole moving average indicator. I always use the 10 in 1 indicator because of its simplicity and because it saves spaces for other indicators. After choosing the indicator, we go into its settings, we open the input section, and we activate the first option only. Then, from the drop-down list here, we choose the HMA indicator, which we call the HEMA indicator, and finally, we change the value to 14. As for the color and thickness, you can choose what you want. To apply the second indicator, we open the indicator center again, and in the search field we type retracement bar. You can also type HOFFMAN, and you will find that the indicator has appeared here. Now open the indicator settings and make sure that the value is 45 and not another number. Go to the style section, untick these options, which are the red and green triangles. A little below them, activate this option, which is the inventory bar retracement price line. Now change the color to a bright color so that you can see it clearly on the chart, also you may increase the thickness as well. Then, change the normal line you see here to the step line so we can have a horizontal view. That's it for now, the chart is ready and we will not need any other indicators at the moment. Now to the rules and conditions. Here, when we see that the candles are below the HEMA line, we will look for short positions only. But here, and when the candles are above the HEMA line, we will look for buying positions only. Well, this condition may be the most important, so let's see several examples that may be a bit complicated. Here we see several red candles below the HEMA line, and it is clear that they are for the shorts only, but here, we see a single green candle above the HEMA line, and here, we also see a red candle above the HEMA line. How will we deal with them? Will we use them for the shorts, or we will use them for the longs? To learn more, let's quickly talk about the structure of candles and how they are formed. Green candles always close at the top, and this closing is always at the end of the body, not at the wick. As for red candles, it is the opposite. In red candles, the closing is always below the body of the candle, or in other words, it is the lowest level in the body of the candle. Returning to the chart, we notice that this green candle has closed above the HEMA line, and this means that we will look for a long position only in this candle. As for this red candle that you see it here, it closed below the HEMA line, and this means we will look for short positions only. Here too, we see a red candle that closed below the HEMA line, and this means that we will look for shorts only at this candle. Here the candles are clear and we can use them to look for long opportunities only. As for here, we see a red candle that closed below the HEMA line, and as we said in such cases, we will look for short positions only. And here, we see that the closing of this green candle is above the HEMA line, and this means that you know the answer now, which is to search for a buying position only. And here to search for shorts, and here too, for shorts only. Trading and finding signals here will not be according to the movement of the trend, but rather, it will be according to the movement of the candle itself. For this, let us delve deeper into understanding this point, which is determining the direction of the candle. And let's say we were trading here, at this candle. Here we see that the HEMA line has reached this level, and we also see that the candle has closed here, at this level. Logically, we see that the level of the candle is below the level of the HEMA line, so at this candle, we will only look for short positions. As for here at this green candle, we see that the closing price was here at this level and the HEMA line was here at this level, so as is the case, we will look for buying opportunities only. Well, let's go ahead and take a more complicated example because the story of closing and opening below and above the HEMA line is the basis for finding the signals. For example, here at this red candle, the closing may appear below the HEMA line, but no way, we will not be able to know until we live that romantic moment with these candles. Well, let's zoom in on the chart so we can see everything more clearly. As you can see, here the HEMA line appears below the closing price of the candle, and this means that this candle will be used to look for buy signals only. As for this green candle, it is more complicated. Here we see that the two levels, HEMA and closing price, are in the same level, and for this, we will depend on the body of the candle, which appears clearly below the HEMA line, so this candle will also be considered to search for short positions. I think now that the issue below or above the HEMA line has become clear and we do not need further explanation about it. Now let's start with the second part of this video, which is how to locate signals according to the retracement bar indicator. The red candle that you see here is the last weekly candle in the Bitcoin chart, and as we can see, it still has not closed yet and we still have to wait about a day and 7 hours as it appears in the countdown on this bar here. 1 hour before this candle closes or 1 hour after it closes, we can set our signal, as we will show after a few seconds, but before that, we cannot place any future signals. So, let's say we were trading last week at this candle here. First, as we talked at the beginning of the video, we must know if this candle is for shorts or is it to find longs. And since it closed below the HEMA line, this means that it is for shorts only. Second, and after determining that this candle is for the shorts, we use the retracement bar indicator, which is the gradient line that you see here. To understand more, let's hide the candles for a little while. I think this way we can see the indicator line very clearly. After finding the retracement bar indicator line that cuts this candle, we use the horizontal line and place it exactly on it so that it is the same level. We also use the lowest price reached by this candle as a signal, even if its wick is small or large, we must put a horizontal line on it as well. And to increase accuracy when placing the horizontal line, you can use the magnet tool from here. Well, to make it more clear, let's see this illustration. In this picture, we can easily see how to place the two signal lines in case of short trade. Now that we understand how to place the signal lines in the event of entering the shorts, let's move forward to learn about the timing lines and how to place them. Since we are on a 1-week frame, this means that the distance between the opening of this candle and the next candle will be 7 days. So, we will place a vertical line here, meaning that this line will represent the opening location of the next candle. After that, we measure another 7 days, and then we place another line, and this line will represent the place of closing the next candle. Now we have our red candle that is already closed, and we have space between two lines to limit the next candle's movements. All I can say now is that the chart is ready in the first structure, and we no longer need anything but trading and knowing how to enter. So, let's move on to the third part by changing the chart to 1 hour frame. Well, give me a moment to adjust the dimension so you can see it well. The area that you see here, between the two vertical lines, is the area of one candle on a weekly frame, but on 1 hour frame, it represents 168 candles. As for the signal lines that we placed at the beginning of the video, they represent entry points for short positions. Now, when the next 1 hour candle reaches this vertical line, we activate the signal. So let's run the player to see what happens. At this moment, the signal has been activated, the entry will be at the level of the red line, close to the candles, which is this line here. Meaning that we will place a pending sell order, and if the price reaches it, we will automatically enter the trade. And if you don't know how to place a conditional or pending orders, please tell me in the comments. Well, we also have two sell lines, and we can place two pending sell orders, but as a signal provider, you have to wait until the price approaches one of these lines, and then you can activate the pending signal. As you can see, trading was activated at the selling price, and profits were also taken in one candle, but do not be surprised, this does not always happen, I just like to start with examples that raise the morale. Here we can see that this signal has achieved approximately 5%, meaning that it has reached several targets, which are called TP1, TP2, and so on. But let's go further and see what happens in this week. Here we see that the candles have returned to the entry point and have retraced down by approximately 1.9. As for here, we see that the candles crossed the entry line to the top by about 2% and then came back down strongly. As you can see, these movements occurred several times, but the question remains, can we use them as entry signals for short positions as well? To know this, we must move to the 15-minute frame, and we also have to use another indicator, but before this, let's see other examples of how to set the main signals. There are some things that you should look at from time to time. Here, for example, we see that the time remaining on the life of the weekly candle is approximately 1 day and 8 hours. Here too, we must note that the price did not reach the upper signal line during a whole week, which means that there is another resistance area that preventing the price from rising to this retracement line, and since we are traders, we should try to locate it as well. Now let's go back to the weekly chart and look for another example. Since we talked about this candle and we learned how to use it to enter short positions, let's take another short candle and see how to use it. Well, this candle here is not considered a short candle because as you can see, it closed above the HOFFMAN line and we will explain it in the coming minutes, but for clarity, this candle is a little complicated, part of it can be used for shorts and another part for long, but do not make things confuse you and always consider that anything that closes above HOFFMAN is to search for long trades only until we clarify everything step by step. Now let's take this green candle here. Since it is clear that this candle has closed below the HOFFMAN line, then we will use it to look for short positions only. And as we did before, we place the first signal line, then we place the second signal line. After setting the signal lines, we move on to place the time lines. The first line is the opening line of the weekly candle, the second line is the closing line, and what is in between is our trading area. We go ahead and change the chart to a 1-hour frame. We adjust the dimension so that a few seconds are lost in the video, and then we follow the explanation. Now we wait for 1-hour candle to reach this line, and when it reaches it, we activate the signals according to the signal lines. Now as we can see, the candle has reached the signal line, so we activate the signal closest to the current price. And to find out the entry price, you will find it at the end of the red line on the bar to the right. Now, if the price reaches this level, which is 20,122, the pending order will be automatically activated on the Bybit platform and we will enter a sell position. We can also activate the second signal or wait until the price approaches it more. Well, let's run it and see what happens. Now at this moment, the sell order has been activated and we have entered the trade. And immediately after entering, we achieved about 2 targets. I think now that the price is approaching the second signal line, the second pending sell order should be activated. In this candle, several previous targets were achieved and the second signal was entered and other new targets were also achieved. Here the first signal was entered and all the targets were achieved, and here the second signal was entered and several targets were also achieved. Well, for the length of the video and for the feeling of boredom, this will be all in the first part of this series, and in the next videos we will talk about the following points. 1. Using a double or multiple frames to facilitate trading. 2. Finding long positions and review some easy examples. 3. Finding long and short signals and reviewing some complicated examples. 4. Divide the targets, the first target, the second target, and so on, with calculation of the stop-loss level. We will also talk about some other points, such as 1. Adding some other indicators and adding Fibonacci to set goals in another way. 2. Apply smaller frames and implement the rest of the signals that occurred in the candle of the week. 3. Reviewing live examples from famous Telegram channels. 4. Finding some other coins that align with this strategy very well. Well, before ending the video, I hope that you will also follow this channel, which is a channel of a friend who promises to provide you with the best scalping strategies and other trading techniques. Finally, if you have any suggestion, please type it in the comment. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe. Good luck.